Hi guys, welcome back to the channel for another video working towards getting something done on the S10. So in this video we are going to prepare the engine to go in the truck. It was already close, but I had to change a couple things around on it, and I have to bring in my consultant. She helps me with everything. She is an accomplished welder, an excellent tuner, fabricator, you name it, she does it all. I'll introduce you to her here momentarily, but one of the things that I had to change on the engine, I didn't have to change it, I just wanted to change it. I had this particular cam wheel on there with the single trigger, or the single pickup or pickup point, or you know, whatever you call it, and we went to this to the 4-tooth version of the same thing. The only real reason for that is that I wanted to avoid any potential problems. The Holley comes, the Terminator X Max and the Terminator series and all that. If you want to use the Wizard, they come set up for 58X, 24X, blah blah blah. The 28X, or I'm sorry, the 24X uses the single tooth cam wheel. The 58X uses the 4-tooth. This engine is a 58X, and like I said, I just wanted to avoid any potential problems, and also to get the setup done through the Wizard on the handheld without using the laptop. Now, I had mentioned in the other videos, if you go through the advanced setup, there is quite a few things that you can change. The trigger wheel configuration and all that stuff is one of those things, so it doesn't have to be changed, but I wanted to. So without further ado, let me get my helper in the shot and introduce you to her. Again, her TIG welding is phenomenal. You would not believe it. Okay guys, as I promised, this is Dixie. She is the brains behind this operation. She is the tuner, she's the fabricator, she's the installer, she does everything. She's kind of shy on camera. That's why she's not in a lot of videos. I think she's been in one or two. She hides in the background, but like I said before, her ability with a TIG torch is just second to none. She is, I mean, it's like watching art being made all at one time. So we are going to get this, the timing set changed out on the engine and get the oil pan on it, and that's really all it lacks for getting it sat down in the truck. So hopefully we can get that accomplished today. And that will be a big, huge milestone in this process, I guess you could say. All right, Dixie had to leave to go run some errands, so she left me to finish this stuff up. I got the new cam, or the new timing set on, and the timing marks lined up. Just got to put the cam bolts in and Loctite everything in place and all that stuff. She's pretty adamant about that. She reminded me about 4 different times before she left to make sure and put Loctite on the cam bolts. So I'm gonna do that because, well, it's important. And for those who really like the details, when you put Loctite on a bolt, especially on a small bolt, let's see if this thing's gonna focus for me. I don't think you can see it even with it not focused. Come on, camera, there you go. You put it on the first couple of threads and you screw the bolt in, and it drags the Loctite up the threads. There's no need to put it on the tip of the bolt and run it up the threads. It doesn't get you anything at all, so other than wasting some expensive Loctite. So worthless garage tip number, what are we at, like 3,789 now or something like that. So yeah, one of those things, you know. And yes, we will come back and torque those later. Hopefully before the Loctite sets up. Same thing, timing chain tensioner. One little tiny drop on the end of the bolt. And you will thank yourself a few times over if you ever have to take these bolts back out. All right, got everything torqued down, got the tensioner thingy dingy in place, oil pump is in place, and now we're ready to put the timing cover on it, I do believe. That was rather loud. Okay, so the battery went dead on the last segment there of dropping the engine in the truck, but you didn't miss anything. It looked like this, and now it looks like that. So the next step is I bought some exhaust manifolds, God, a long time ago, probably when I built this engine, a year and a half or so ago, off of Craigslist. This guy had bought a crate engine, and these manifolds came on it, and they don't really look like any kind of OE manifold that I know of, at least. I'm not real familiar with that stuff. But anyways, I bought them because they're low profile, and they may or may not fit on the S10 in some form or fashion. It's probably going to end up with a log manifold on one side and a regular manifold on the other side, where the crossover pipe goes under the engine and back into the back of the log manifold or something along those lines. So we're going to check to see if those manifolds fit and kind of go from there. All right, so this is what should normally be the passenger side. And as you can see, it's brand new. And it should clear everything. Or not. It's close. It's real close, actually. The only thing stopping it, which you won't be able to see on the camera, I don't think, is the way this flange comes out of it. And depending on how I have to use it, it may be better to even cut this off and just move this flange over. As far as flow and whatnot is concerned, that will definitely work if I need to do that. So we'll keep that in mind. Driver's side is pretty much a mirror, and I'm not going to be able to get it down in there without pulling the steering shaft off. But this one is going to have the exact same problem, just looking at the proximity of the bolt. And that's not the end of the world either. It's definitely possible that it could work if need be. So I have the passenger side header off of the other S10, and I'm not sure that I want to mount the turbo over here, because using the passenger side header off the other one is what that would force me to do. I like the turbo better on that side. If anything, for weight distribution for starters, the second part of it is it's hard to get the downpipe out of anything on the driver's side, especially even on a Mustang. It's hard to do. So my guess is I'm going to end up probably making both headers just to get it to fit the way that I want it to fit. I want it to be well, easy to work on, you know, all that kind of stuff. But we will probably do some craziness, like put the manifolds on upside down and backwards to start it. And if anything, just to start it and get some motivation and kind of hear the project, because nothing gets me more motivated than to actually hear it run and put the finishing touches on it so you can drive it and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So probably tomorrow, I got a friend of mine coming over. It's going to help me stab the transmission in this thing, and then it will really be downhill from there. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. That's the end of the video. Major goals accomplished today, by way of getting the engine set in the truck, getting the engine buttoned up, and all that good stuff. These manifolds, like I said earlier, these manifolds are probably not going to work the way I want them to work. I don't think, at least. I need to get the transmission in it and get the engine leveled out the rest of the way so we get a really good idea about that. But it's not out of the question for me to make both headers on this thing. So it's not something I haven't done a million times before. So no big deal. We'll figure something out. But next video, transmission installed, engine leveled out. We'll probably put the manifolds on upside down and do a wire and fire with the Holley stuff just so we can hear it run. That's it. But as usual, thanks very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it, guys. If you haven't, subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. Talk about it. Tell me what you think. And we will see you in the next video.